Hi, I'm
Hi.
Julie,
I'm Melissa.
and welcome to another edition, series, whatever it is, show of a new relationship with the body. And last time we kind of left off sharing about passion and anger and kind of how they correlate. We're going to move on to the second core for emotion, which was
Sadness.
sadness. Now, I don't know about you, but I have had my share of sadness. That one wasn't so hard for me. How about you?
No, not. We're allowed to feel sad. Sometimes. We're allowed to feel sad for periods of time, and then you must get over it.
Yes. Like there's a quantitative
Correct.
time frame on
You're
it.
allowed to grieve for a month, and then you must be done. Not
Yes.
realizing that sometimes grieving goes on, and you always feel a part of that.
Right.
Or are reminded of it, and you feel part of it again.
Right. So if we look at the energy of sadness and what it is intended for, remember, feeling it supports you in not becoming it as a state of being. Mm-hmm. If you experience that energy through the heart, mm-hmm. it can leave and it doesn't have to get stuck in the tissues of your body. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so, particularly sadness, how do you know when someone's sad? Typically, they start crying. That is a release of mm-hmm. energy. And a lot of times, what do we have to do? Blow our nose.
Right.
So, literally, you get it out of your tissues into the tissue. And when you start doing your emotional work, really going inside and exploring and processing these unfinished emotions, anybody that's gone on this journey can say, wow, I should have took stock in Kleenex, right? Because, that is part of the process.
Yeah.
So sadness, the gift of sadness, when you feel that energy, is it takes you deeper into your heart. It connects you deeper into you. And it supports you in remembering more.
That's fantastic.
Remembering more about, really, more of who you are, who you really are inside. And it's like this chamber that you get to stand there and look around and go, oh yeah, I remember me. I remember this. Oh, I lost myself there. Oh, I lost myself there. But if we look at, again, so much of how we process our emotions got embedded in our childhood. I'm going to ask you all a question to just consider. How was sadness handled in your family growing up?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Were you allowed to be sad? Was that okay? If you sat at the dinner table and cried, was that okay? I mean, were you allowed that space, that freedom to just feel what you needed to feel? Or were you told, just to get over it? Or did you yourself not feel comfortable in that environment expressing an emotion or allowing yourself to feel that emotion? In which case we often push it down, and it sits in our lungs. Lungs are the organ of sadness.
The lungs get affected.
Yeah.
So, again, what I want to do too is, I know, sharing from my own family experience, that is one of the emotions was allowed in that short little narrow variance. And so, but you would feel sad, and then it's almost like they started a stopwatch and said, well, get over it.
Right. That was a long time ago. You should be done now.
Yeah, or get over it. Stop your bawling, And then we want to get into the dynamics, too, of male and female. Mm-hmm. I feel like this is an important piece to bring into this conversation. Because as in the past, as a society, it is more accepted to see a woman cry than a man.
Very true.
Isn't that
Very
that's
true.
so?
Yes.
And so men got this unconscious message or conscious, a lot of times from the patriarchal figure of the family, that it was not okay for men to cry.
Boys don't
little,
cry.
Little boys don't cry. Suck it
Yeah,
up.
they do.
Come on.
They do. And they should.
It's
They do.
part of this primal energy. It is required here. And if you have had that experience, I want to share with you now, it's okay. Find a space, find someone that will hold that space of non-judgment and allow you to process and cry. I have a thing when I started my journey, it was a heart, and it said, tears heal the soul.
That's beautiful.
It was so simple. And I looked at that and I said, that is true. That is true.
Oh, yes. Once you open up that gate of sadness and allow yourself to start feeling it, it kind of sometimes can kind of sneak out in unusual ways. You may just all of a sudden feel a welling up of sadness at the grocery store line and not understand maybe where it came from or what it's connected to, and that's all fine. It's all fine. It's about you experiencing how you feel and learning to know and love yourself better.
And as our consciousness as a collective is shifting here, with the death of distraction, which, by the way, occurred Monday evening, January 8th, thank you, that energy is no longer available on this planet. Yay! And for some people, it's not, they're not really necessarily experiencing it as yay, because with the energy of denial gone, that left in November on 11/11, and now with distraction energy gone, it's not available anymore. So those things we used to do to avoid feeling, because that's what denial and distraction were about. They were parts of the illusion here that kept us from truly feeling and then seeing what was true. So with distraction gone, we are, did I say distraction?
You said destruction.
Wow. People might. That's a Freudian slip.
3 times we've come up with that one now.
Oh,
destruction.
wow.
Apparently
Yes.
it's on the list to go, but
We don't know when
we
yet.
don't know when.
But yes, well, in the fallout from having distraction gone,
Yes.
it can appear out there like destruction.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because what people will, there is no more, oh, look over here, never mind the man behind the curtain. You know, I mean,
Right.
we're starting to see as a whole what is really going on in our world. And we no longer can deny it is not so. So that can be experienced as destruction.
Absolutely. One of the great tools that we've always, I think people in general have been taught on how to deal with their sadness is just distract yourself. Just go do something else. You'll feel okay.
You'll feel better.
Right? Right? Think
Yeah.
about something else. Just don't think about that anymore. Well, just because you don't think about something doesn't mean you don't feel it.
Right, right. So let's go into, again, giving the viewers an experience of that energy of
Okay.
sadness. I know a lot of you have this hands down, yay for you.
Good job.
But if you don't, let's just really get this body experience, because this is another way your body is speaking to you. This is the language of your body. And so you, if you're creating this new relationship, this relationship that is known between you and your body, you want to have a good handle on this. So again, let's all just close our eyes, take a couple deep breaths in, center yourself. And again, I would invite you to ask your body to share with you what the energy of sadness feels like in your body. And again, if you didn't catch it, just ask again, body, what does the energy of sadness feel like when you talk to me? Did you get it?
Yep.
Mine was all about my heart. It is almost like a sinking feeling for me.
Yep. I got that sinking, and then I got the top of the lungs just kind of restrict. So my breath was not flowing open, which lets that heart move and relax and feel. So it can be a pretty encompassing feeling.
Right. And again, feeling that energy of sadness, acknowledging it, saying, wow, I feel sad, not I am.
Correct.
I am is a commanding statement, and what you say is so. So if you say I am, it is so. It becomes, you've moved already into a state of being, not going through the energy of feeling.
Correct. I just want to put out there that very often when we say this was my experience with feeling, my lungs did this, my heart did this, blah, blah, that's my experience. That might not be your experience. We each store emotions in different parts of the body. As you were sitting there paying attention to how your body feels, you may have noticed a twinge in your shin. That is a valid feeling. That might be where you store it.
Right.
So don't try to measure your feelings, your experience against my experience or Julie's experience, because they're all valid and they all could be very different.
We're just sharing our experience.
Right.
And in sharing our experiencing, we invite you to explore yours. And that's really what this show is about.
Exactly.
I feel like we're wrapping it up for today.
I feel like we're wrapping it up for today.
Thanks so much for joining us.
We appreciate having you here.
Please share this video. These are required at this time of great change out there. Let people know they're not alone. They're not going crazy. Everything's rearranging. It is moving into a heart-centered planet. Yay! One last thing. If you feel inspired and would like to ask a question, please leave it in the comments. We would love to address your question. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Bye.